Hello, I'm Grumpy89 and welcome to Trial Run Democracy 3. Now, for anyone who doesn't know the game, Democracy 3 is a political simulation game and we're going to dive right into it. I think I'm just going to do the United Kingdom. Why not? For once, this is not a game where I've installed mods, because of course it's a trial run and I want to show the game how it's actually shipped. It has full mod support, so that's always great. And I think I'm going to leave everything as is. And let's hit play. Welcome to your new job as Prime Minister. The lives of all 63 million citizens are now in your hands. As you will imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible, while keeping an eye on the long-term improvement of our citizens' quality of life. Plus, do not forget that you face re-election in 4 years, so you will need to monitor the option polls and your party members. Good luck. Now, this is all our basic information about our country. Our GDP is not doing very well. Our health can do better, education can do better, poverty is relatively high, crime is through the roof, just as unemployment. Well, this is Democracy 3, a screen full of icons, and they are all connected to another one or more in some way. So the blue dots are the main information about your country. You can say that like that, I think. The red are the big problems in your country, and the white ones are policies which one are already implemented. And not every policy can be removed. Most of them can, but not everyone. Like this one, Henken laws, you can't cancel, but you can raise or lower him if you want that. Now let's see, what can we start off with? This represents all the voters in your country. Now, not every voter belongs to one group. Every voter belongs to multiple groups, and I think I can best show that over here. Focus group. Jackie White, she is a socialist and she is retired apparently. Patriot, motorist, wealthy, conservatives, everyone. So if you implement state healthcare, for an example, I assume that is already implemented, I haven't checked yet, that as a socialist point that will be very much appreciated, but I don't think that the wealthy people will approve. Let me check. Is this state healthcare? Yes, and as you can see, the wealthy people don't like it, and the socialists like it very much. So let's take a look at our problems in our country. We have high homelessness, and we have an uncompetitive economy. We have a technology backwater. We have vigilante mobs. We have organized crime. And we have alcohol abuse. Well, I think that's the most easy one to solve. It will be caused by Alcohol consumption, of course, poverty, crime, and unemployment, and it's bad for health. Alright, so we can increase the alcohol tax for that, I think, but we can also do something with the alcohol law. But if we are going to try to combat unemployment, then maybe that will help as well, at least a little bit. All those negative effects come with a cost as well. Like this, alcohol abuse costs us almost 10 billion. So, let's first try to do something about the uncompetitive economy. And I think we're going to do that with import tariffs. As you notice, I've played it a little bit already. Not to say that I'm good at it, most of the I don't make it to the next election. Let's implement that. Let's keep it at medium. It's free to increase it now. As you can see, the capitalists are happy with it. It's good for the unemployment. Oh, they're actually not happy with it. It's good to gain more jobs in your country. Patriots are happy with it. It's not good for your foreign relations, international trade, and it's very bad for the uncompetitive economy. So this means it will take away from the uncompetitive economy, and that's what we want. Now, this screen here represents your term. So if this ends, there's a re-election and you will be re-elected or not. And we haven't checked our balance yet. We have an income of $278 billion, an expenditure of $271 billion, and a surplus of almost $7 billion. So that's great. But we are in a lot of debt, so that's something that's not great. Here we can see what our expenses are. Our biggest expenses are state pensions, state health service, and that's weird because our health service is not that great, or at least our health. And our biggest income is the income tax. What else can we check? Well, I've showed one policy that we've just implemented. Foreign policy, welfare. Ooh, there are not much left in here. Economy, tax, public subsidies, adult education subsidies. That's a great one to implement for your technology background. So that's I've explained as well. Transport, but we are doing relatively well. This icon represents your political capital, and this is what you use to create or adjust policies or make other choices in the game. If it's gone, then you can't do anything, but not everything costs the same before. For example, to increase the income tax, you need 30 political capital, and of course we don't have it. To lower it, we need 7, and to outright cancel it, we need 13. So we have 13 left, so we can do something else. Vigilante mobs. What can we do about that? Organized crime. Law and order. Well, that's a bit drastic, don't you think? Gated communities. What if we increased community police? Is this going to help violent crime? I think it helps. Let's do it. Is there something else we can do? CCTV cameras. How is our police force? Not that great, so let's do something about it as well, a little bit. We need to keep an eye on our expenses. Let's increase this because we need the money. Oh, I'm going to piss off a lot of people with this. What if we do it at 50%? Oh my god, I don't want to live here. Apply changes. Well, when we are out of political capital, that's the only thing we can do right now, except for check all the charts, if you like that. And this is the end of our turn here. You can see all the things that are happening in the meantime. Debt protection law is a choice. A budget report. We currently have a surplus of 17 billion and could consider dropping taxes. And why that is, while we have increased the cost so much, the expenses of our country, that I'm going to explain as well. Polls report, people are indifferent. We estimate getting 50% of the vote in an election. Cabinet, the loyalty of your ministers can best be described as trustworthy. Security briefing, the Human Rights Society says it's actively encouraging its members to oppose the current government. Debt protection law. Debt collection agencies have been in the news because of the aggressive methods they are using to extract payment from people who owe large sums of money. These debt collection agencies provide credit to people whom larger, more respectable companies will not lend money. A law is proposed to limit the ways in which such agencies can operate. So we have two choices here. We can limit the agents' activity. These agencies are preying on the weakest and poorest in our society, often tricking them into borrowing money at exorbitant rates that can never be repaid. This is little more than extortion, and the government should act at once to limit severely the activities of such unscrupulous companies. And then we can choose to allow the agencies to operate. Nobody forces people to borrow money they can't repay, and to restrict the right of debt agencies to recover legitimate debts would be counterproductive. People need to learn to live with their means and not expect the state to bail them out of trouble if they cannot learn to do so. I don't think that's fair, the last one. I don't think that everybody is a lawyer and not everyone can read between the lines, so let's pick this one. Good, and our poverty is increased, so that's not good. Good. Now, last term, or what was it called? How is it called again? Oh, I have that arrow over there. We did import tariffs, this one. And here, the implementation delays says how many turns you add. That's the word I was looking for. Implementation delay, how many turns it is before it's fully implemented. So now it's implemented for 17%. So I think we need to do 4, or is this? No, I think that's the total. So we need 4 turns before it's completely implemented. And our police, oh, that's already implemented, I think. And as you can see, the changes we made do help indeed. So that's because we still have a surplus, I think. And of course we've increased the alcohol tax. Uncompetitive economy is going down as well. Now the only thing we still have is the technology backwater. We can change that by increasing the State schools, I think yes, that's not that good. They have shared textbook and you can crank it up all the way to student laptops, but I don't think I'm going to start with that. Creationism versus evolution. This is a religious choice. The only thing I still don't understand is what in this situation what this means. Does this mean they are not happy with the, the how it's done at the moment, or do they don't they like the policy at all? But this one is a policy you can cancel. But I think that we are going to set it to evolution only because it costs us nothing and it's good for our technology backwater. Oh, and we have insufficient political capital. Now you can partially save your political capital. Not everything will be in the next turn, so I leave it all and see how much we can keep for the next turn. State housing. Our retirement is 45 billion a quarter. Ooh, that's a lot of money. Let's go to the next turn. Our GDP is going down instead of going up. Our crime is going down, so that's great as well. Freedom of information. There have been calls for a law to increase the availability of information held on databases about citizens without their knowledge. These include the record held by private medical companies, insurance companies and debt collection agencies, as well as information held by government departments. Nobody likes the idea of the government holding information about it, but in some circumstances this needs to be done. The government isn't out to spy on everyone, but passing this law will just make it harder for the intelligence services to keep a watch on serious criminals and terrorists. It will also affect a large number of businesses who have customers' databases will be swamped with yet more bureaucracy. Or we can propose a Freedom Act. It's essential that we have this law passed, and it's one of the checks and balances required in a truly free society. The average law-abiding citizen should not be spied on or monitored by multinational corporations with computer databases, and the potential for abuse by government agencies if the citizens cannot view the data is being stored is huge. Well, I think we do the last one. We still have a surplus, people are still indifferent, and the Human Rights Society has been criticizing government policy on the radio, cabinet reports, and the loyalty report from ministers is still the same. Good. Now, how is this doing? Oh, it's still the same. We have 52 right now, so we can make this change and hope that this will help. What's this? Race Discrimination Act. I think, yes, it helps with racial tension, so let's increase that as well. Because vigilante mobs is partially caused by racial tension, I think. Organized crime, and what we can do about that is we can't right now, but I believe wiretapping helps a lot with that. So I don't think this is enough for our technology backwater. So let's increase the science funding a little bit. How much is this? 4 billion, that's a lot, but alright. Good. Now that's it, we have 15 left. And the asthma epidemic will be caused by the environment. And the environment is mostly car usage. Alright. So we can do some things about that. We can implement car emission limits, so the hard way, but we can do it the easy way and give subsidies instead of restrictions. Or we can do the telecommuting initiative, but that's not that expensive. This is the cheapest, but I don't want to piss off more people. And people are generally speaking happy with this. So let's just do that and increase it all the way. And with this turn we are going to end this episode. I'm going to do another one and we see how it goes. This is of course a trial run, so it will not be a full let's play. I thank you all for watching and have fun gaming. Bye bye.